Alright, so I want to make a quick video today about this oil lamp. Now, the thing, I don't know a lot about oil lamps. This is the first and only oil lamp I've ever owned, but what makes this so special is that I only paid $9 for it. And at the time of filming right now, it's on sale for $7.50, which is why I'm in such a rush to make this video. And the two things that annoyed me right off the bat was the instructions were inside. Okay, so there's a lever on the side here, there's a lever up here, so I take the bail handle, I lift up with my middle finger, and I tilt this forward. I can now get inside that glass to get those instructions out. The second thing that annoyed me is the instructions are horrible. They don't explain anything. They're not that great of instructions. And so I'll put this back together. And so let me show you what I do. Okay, I am not an expert. Like I said, this is the first and only oil lamp I've ever owned. But what I did is, when I first got it, it came with a wick. Alright, I bought a wick because I didn't know if it was going to come with one. It did come with its own wick. When it comes to filling it, there is a fill line. You're not supposed to fill this all the way up. You fill it to the fill line. There's no way of knowing if you're at that fill line or not. The hole is very small to fill this thing, but it is doable. What I did is I took lamp oil. So I bought this lamp oil. I really like this lamp oil. Take that with a grain. This is the only lamp oil I've ever used. I haven't used anything else. I just really like this one. When I was watching videos on how to use an oil lamp, there was a lot of people that would light it and then put it out right away because of the smell. This doesn't put out a smell. It's for indoor, outdoor use. I've used it indoors. I haven't had any issues. I've used it outdoors. Haven't had any issues. I really like this oil. I plan on getting another one. But like I said, this is the only oil I've ever used. And what I did is I took the oil and I poured it in this to-go container. I put an X on the bottom so no one accidentally puts food in it. And then I just pinched it into a point, and then I poured that into that tiny little hole, and I just guessed. There's nothing on here that tells you how much liquid it holds. I just kind of poured a little bit in, shook it, poured a little bit in, shook it, and got it to where I felt was close. I've only filled it one time, so you can see how much of this is gone. That's how much I put in it from the start. I've only filled it the one time, and one of the concerns I had is I thought like a Zippo lighter, if you don't use a Zippo lighter, the butane evaporates. I've had this thing for a couple weeks now, and nothing has evaporated. It still works exactly the same as it did when I first got it, and I really like it a lot. Lighting it is easy. Again, the instructions aren't going to tell you this, but there's that lever on the side that we use to get the instructions out. You just push that down, and then the bottom opens up. I'm going to extend my wick a little bit. I'm going to light it. And then I pull over and lower the glass. And there it is lit. And it is too high. You want a nice consistent flame. You don't want it jumping around, putting off smoke or soot. You want a nice, clean, consistent flame. It's what I learned from the videos that I watched. And there you go. There you have it. This is a really nice lantern. I'll leave a link to it in the description box down below, along with the fuel that I like. One of the things to pay attention to is the reviews on Amazon. So I really like mine. I've been using mine. I've had zero issues with it. I like it a lot. But if you read some of the reviews, some people have had problems with it. And they've had issues with the bottoms. They've had issues with it not lighting. They've had different issues. Again, when you're paying $7.50 or $9, the quality control probably isn't the greatest. And so make sure that you're using a Prime seller. Okay, if you're buying it on Amazon, make sure you're getting it from an Amazon Prime seller. That way you can return it. right? If it's not exactly what you want, it's easy to return. It's easy. If you go to a third party with free shipping, they might offer free shipping, but you might not be able to return it as easily as a Prime purchase. So keep that in mind. So we filled it. We got the instructions out. We've lit it. I'm sitting here next to this and I'm not having any issues whatsoever. It doesn't stink. It doesn't smell. Again, this oil works really well. It comes with a wick. One of the other things that I want to talk about is when you watch the movies, they're always holding it up by their face or they're holding it out in front of them. And it is pretty. It is pretty to watch. It's pretty to look at, and I like looking at it. But what I found is by staring at that flame, it's bright, and it completely destroys your night-adjusted vision. And then it's really hard to see. When I first got this lamp, I was like, man, this is not very bright. But the reality was I kept looking at the flame, which ruined my night-adjusted vision, and then I couldn't see anything. You know, it's like getting a flashlight and looking directly in the flashlight and then trying to use it and be like, oh, it doesn't work. I just have this big white dot. I can't see anything. You know what I mean? It's the same concept. You don't buy a flashlight and blind yourself and then try to see how bright it is. That's what I did with this. I'm staring at it right now. I'm blinding myself. I can see the orange dot, but it's so pretty. But I want to show you how I do use it. So let's wait till it gets a little bit dark and I'll show you how I actually use this so that I can get the most out of it. It is pretty though. Here, let me show you this too. Let's check it out in the dark. Alright, so I have it lit. It is pitch black out. It's the middle of the night. But you can see I try to keep it below eye level so you might not be able to see me, but I don't stare directly into the light. It's no different than if you have a headlamp or a flashlight. If you stare directly at it, you ruin your night adjusted vision and all you see is this white dot. Same thing here. Right now I can see into my dining room, I can see my whole entire living room, but when I stare into that flame and ruin my night adjusted vision, it's not bright enough for me to see everything because, again, my eyes aren't adjusted to it. And so I like to keep it down low. Sometimes I'll carry it like a suitcase and I'll carry it down even lower, but I try to keep it about stomach high. If I have to raise it up, if I have to see something on a shelf or I have to raise it up, I'll turn sideways and I'll lift it up behind me. That way I'm not looking at it, it's not blinding me, and I can still see things that are up higher. I can see things from a distance, and then that way, again, I'm not staring directly into that light, and that has been a game changer. When you see the movies, like I was saying earlier, and they bring it up to their face, it's not real life. Don't do that. It ruins your night adjusted vision, and then it's not. Your eyes can't adjust, and then it doesn't seem as bright as it really is. And especially if you're holding it like that for a really long time, it doesn't work. And so that's my video. I really like this thing for the price. Like I said, I paid $9. I've seen it as low as $7.50, which is a deal. Now understand, you get what you pay for. I got lucky. Mine is perfect. It works. It doesn't leak. I have no complaints about it. I do plan on upgrading. I do plan on getting another one that's a higher quality. But the one that I got is really good. Yours may vary. Alright, when you look at the Amazon reviews, which I'll leave a link in the description box down below, they're hit or miss. People either love them, I got one, I love it, and then there are other people that have problems. They're not as durable, they're not as reliable, and so again, that quality control at that price point probably isn't the greatest, but I'm happy with mine. It was worth trying. I really like it a lot. I've been using it quite a bit, and so I recommend it. Link in the description, and I can't wait to see you on my next video.